Student, in this today's lecture we will study about the Nereis. Nereis belong to the phylum Annelida. Now we will see the systematic position, that is phylum Nereis belong to the phylum Annelida, class Polychaeta. Okay, Nereis, also known as a Neanthes, is a marine worm commonly called as a clamp worm or ragworm or even called as a sandworm. Okay, it has a true coelomate worm, and the body is segmented. Thus, that's why it is classified into phylum Annelida. Okay, that is the important characteristic of the phylum Annelida is that they show a true coelomate with the segmented body. Okay, in the Nereis, the locomotory organs are in the form of setae, and the setae are arranged in the groups. Hence, the Nereis is included in the class Polychaeta. That poly means many, chaeta means city. Okay, uh, then it is the distribution is cosmopolitan, that is they are found throughout the world. It is a marine annelid and it lives in the seashore between the tide marks. Okay, sometimes it also found among the seaweeds and under the stones. Normally it lives in a burrows. They are free living uh, and predaceous and the nocturnal animal, that is they are what nocturnal means, they are active during the night time. Okay, the body is long, narrow, slender with the bilaterally symmetrical tapering posterior end. Okay, the length varies with the species. Okay, so this variation is between the 40 to 45 centimeter long. Okay, the upper surface of the body is convex while the lower surface is a flat. The color may be brown to dark brown or even reddish brown to the, or sometime it may be in blue green color. Okay, the body consists of two regions, that is a head and a trunk. The head consists of anterior prostomium and the posterior peristomium. Okay, this prostomium lies in front of the mouth and it is triangular, and basically it is not segmented. This prostomium is not segmented. It bears dorsally two pairs of simple eyes, pair of prostomial tentacles at its anterior tips. Okay, and a pair of short fleshy two joint pulps on the ventral side. What are pulps? Pulps are the pair of the elongated segmented appendages which are placed near the mouth, which act as a sense organ. Okay, that is for the touch and the taste. Okay. uh, Whereas on each side of the prostomium there is a ciliated pit which is called as a notional organ. Okay, this also act as a sensory organ. Okay, then head is divided in the prostomium. Now next part is peristomium. Then peristomium has a mouth. Okay, and two pairs of slender cylindrical tentacles called as a peristomial tentacles. Then this is about the head. Then trunk is divided into number of segments or metameres. Okay, which may be 200 and more. Okay, that is the segmentation may be more than the 200. Okay, all metameres are alike except the posterior one, which is a rounded one. Okay, the last segment of the body is known as the anal segment and it bear a anus. Okay, uh, and a pair of long filamentous ventral process called as the anal cilia. Okay, in this picture we can see the last part, that is posterior one, is contain a anal termed as an anal segment, and it contain a anus and an anal cilia. Okay, and each metabeus bears a flat pedal like fleshy and a hollow outgrowth at each side known as a parapodium, which plays an important role in locomotion plus also in the respiration. Okay, Now we will, in brief, we will study about this parapodium. Parapodium is a side foot of the nereis, okay, and it is a hollow lateral outgrowth of the body, and each segment has a pair of parapodium. They are absent from the first and the last segment, but they will be present in each segment, but it will be absent in the first and the last segment of the body. Okay, each parapodium is a biramous that structure because it is formed of a two lobes or rami. Okay, the parapodium has a basal region and a distal region. So parapodia has a two region, that is a basal region and distal region. The parapodia which is attached to the segment considered as a basal region, whereas the distal region has a two parts, namely dorsal notopodium and the ventral neuropodium. Okay, so the notopodium and the neuropodium are the bilobed and bear some bundle of setae embedded in a sac called as a setigerous sac. Okay, one of the setae in each bundle is dark colored and thicker than the rest one, and it is called as a aciculum. This aciculum forms a kind of internal skeleton to the parapodium and also provides the place for the attachment to the setal muscle. Okay, then there is a short filamentous appendages which are present on the dorsal side of the notopodium, and it is called as a dorsal cirri. Dorsal serous. The neuropodium bears a similar process called as a ventral serous on its ventral side, and the setae is made up of basal shaft and a distal blade. Okay, and the blade can be retracted into the shaft, and thus there are three different types. That is a typical, slender, that is three types of, that is a typical or shaped and longed. Okay, and they are long, slender, straight and pointed one. Okay, in the second type, that is in the shaft is stout and the blade is a short and slightly hooked type, that is in a or shaped. Okay, and in third type, that is a long, it is a blade is a or shaped. What is the function of this parapodium? This parapodia has a three different function. That is, first one is the locomotion. They bring about the locomotion of the nereis. Then they bring about the function called as a respiration. Plays an important role in respiratory system. Okay, and it also plays important role in offense and defense time. Okay. For the brief understanding, we will see a structure of the parapodium now. This is the structure of this is the figure of the parapodium. Parapodium is divided into two regions, that is a distal region and basal region. Basal region will be region from where the parapodium is attached to the segment, whereas distal region is the outer segment part, wherein the distal region is divided into notopodium and the neuropodium. Okay, the notopodium, it has a number of each region has a number of setae. Okay, and in this one setae is in each bundle, that is in the notopodium plus neuropodium, will be having a dark color and thicker than the rest one. It is called as a aciculum. Okay, and this aciculum forms the internal skeleton of the parapodium and also provides the place for the attachment to the setal muscle. Okay, then at each side there will be the outgrowth or the short filamentous appendages will be present, referred to as a dorsal serous or the notopodal serous and the neuropodal serous. Okay. The next characteristic of the nereis is the body wall. The body wall is triploblastic and dermomuscular. Okay. It consists of cuticle, epidermis, muscle and peritoneum. Okay. So triploblastic, that is they are made up of three germ layer: ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Okay. And thus it forms a dermomuscular, that is it consists of cuticle, epidermis, muscle and peritoneum. Okay. First we will see the cuticle. Cuticle is a thin non-cellular iridescent outer covering. It secreted by the underlying epidermis and it is chitinous in nature. Okay. It is perforated by numerous minute pores through which epidermal glands opens out. Then comes the epidermis. Epidermis is a thin and it consists of single layer of the columnar supporting cells which rest on the basement membrane. Okay. Then it has a sensory cell and the gland cells are also found in this epidermis. Okay. The gland cell secretes a mucus which is discharged over the body surface through the pores which are distributed on the cuticle. Okay. The next one is the muscles. Muscles are formed by the mesoderm. Okay. And there are three, they are situated below the epidermis, and they are further classified into three types, that is a circular muscle, longitudinal muscle and oblique muscle. The circular muscles lies next to the epidermis and forms a complete layer, okay, which is thicker on the ventral side as compared to the dorsal side. Then the next one is the longitudinal muscle. Longitudinal muscle are not continuous but are arranged into 4 longitudinal bundles, okay, thus forming dorsolateral and the ventrolateral bundles. Okay. These longitudinal muscles are not continuous but they are arranged in the 4 longitudinal bundles, okay, on each side, thus giving rise to 2 bundles, that is dorsolateral bundle and 2 ventrolateral bundles. Okay. Then the next is the oblique muscles. Oblique muscles are paired, that is 2 pairs of oblique muscles on each segment. Okay. Then next one is the peritoneum. Peritoneum is the innermost layer of the body wall and it covers the muscle internally and forms the lining of the body cavity. The layer of the peritoneum lining the body cavity is called as a parietal or the coelomic epithelium. Okay. This is about the body wall. Next we will see the body cavity. The body cavity which extend between the body wall and the alimentary canal is the coelom in the this nereis. Okay. And this coelom it is lined by the peritoneum or the coelomic epithelium and it is divided into 2 layers, that is parietal layer that line the body wall and the splenic or the visceral layer. Okay. This coelomic cavity is divided into several chambers by the transverse septa, okay, which correspond to the segment. Okay, that is in annelids, that is in nereis also they show a internal segmentation is observed. Okay. So this is internal segment is bring about by the transverse septa. Okay. This and forms the chambers, and these chambers formed by the septa are perforated by numerous pores which allows the coelomic fluid to circulate more or less freely from one segment or one chamber to the another. Okay, and there are two mesenteries in each segment on the median side, that is in the dorsal side and the ventral side. Okay, and this mesenteries divide the coelom into right and the left chamber. Okay, the body cavity is filled with the colorless coelomic fluid that contain amoeboid corpuscles and numerous reproductive cells, which are in the form of the various stage of development. Okay. The next is the locomotion. The locomotion takes place with the help of parapodia. Next is the body muscles and the coelomic fluid. Okay. Thus, on the based on the organ type of organ, Nereis shows different types of locomotion, that is slow creeping one, second is the fast creeping, and the third is the swimming, and it also shows the burrowing too. Okay, that is in a slow creeping what happens, it involves the action of parapodia. Okay, so in a slow creeping only the parapodia will play an important role. Okay, the parapodia performs a circular movement that involves an effective backward stroke, okay, and recovery or the forward stroke. The that the parapodia will be pushed backward and forward direction. Okay, the effective stroke, or known as a backward stroke of the parapodium, is protruded and move backward and downward on the substratum. And the recovery stroke, that is the forward stroke, the parapodium is retracted or lifted up and moves anterally. Okay, this protrusion of parapodium is brought about the forcing the coelomic fluid into it and contraction of the protractor muscles. Okay, and its retraction is effected by the contraction of the retractor or the oblique muscles. So the this slow creeping process locomotion is fully bring about by the propodia, wherein the muscles play an important role, that is coelomic fluid plus muscles play an important role by the backward and forward stroke. With the help of this movement of the backward and forward stroke, the locomotion is carried out. Okay, second type is the fast creeping. Fast creeping involves slow lateral undilution of the body, wherein there is addition to the parapodial activity. So here the parapodial activity will that is backward stroke and the forward stroke will be there, plus there will also involves undilution of the body. Okay, wherein the lateral undilution of the body are caused by the wave like contraction of the longitudinal muscles. Okay, so in a slow creeping, what happens in a slow creeping, there was involvement of the only contraction and retraction of the oblique muscles, and muscles were involved, but in a fast creeping there is contraction of the longitudinal muscles and role in locomotion. Okay, next one is the swimming type, that is swimming involves lateral undilution of the muscles along with the action of the parapodia. Okay, whereas in burrowing depends mainly upon the proboscis, that is exerted by the force exerted by the proboscis that involve buccal cavity and the pharynx. Okay, next is the digestive system. Digestive system is formed of two components, that is alimentary canal and the digestive glands. Okay, they show a complete digestion, that is the presence of mouth and anus. Okay, it is consists of two, that is alimentary canal and digestive glands. So first we'll see the alimentary canal. For the better understanding, we should also concentrate on this structure or given figure, that is alimentary canal. The alimentary canal is a straight tube and it starts with the mouth and ends with the anus. Consists of three main regions, namely foregut, midgut and hindgut. The foregut includes mouth, buccal cavity and pharynx. And the midgut is formed of esophagus, stomach, intestine. Okay. And the hindgut formed of the rectum and anus. Mouth leads into buccal cavity which opens into the pharynx, and this buccal cavity and the pharynx is extended through the peristomium. Okay. And the is and it is found in a succeeding four segmentation of segments of the body. Okay, first four segments of the body, and they are lined by the cuticle. The cuticle is thick and at a various places. Okay, at a various places it forms a small dark brown denticles. You see here denticles. So they form a dark denticles, small dark brown denticles, and they are also known as the cuticular teeth or the pharyngeal teeth. Then a pair of this cuticular teeth is greatly enlarged, and these teeth are called as the jaws. And each jaws is an elongated structure which is pointed at the anterior part and rounded on the posterior part. Okay. The inner margin of each jaws bears several strong teeth, and each jaw is connected to the posterior part of the pharynx by the muscles. Okay. And in this muscles helps in the movement of the jaws. The buccal cavity is eversible and the pharynx is protrusible. What do you mean by eversible? Eversible means that is able to turn in and out. Okay. Then next is the esophagus. Esophagus is the short tube which occupies 5 segments behind the pharynx, and a pair of esophageal glands is present. Okay. Which is laid on the sides of the esophagus and it open into esophagus only. Okay. Then the esophagus is followed by the stomach and intestine. Okay. This is the midgut. Okay. Behind the stomach and intestine, a very short chamber, that is the rectum, is present. Rectum and anus form the hindgut. Okay. And this it occupies a large segment, this and opens posteriorly into the anus. This is about the digestive system in alimentary canal in Nereis. We will see the digestive glands. The digestive gland include of a pair of esophageal gland. Remember the esophageal gland? Esophageal gland which lies on the both the side of the esophagus and it get open into the esophagus only. Okay. Then and there are also numerous glands in the epithelial lining of the midguts are present. These esophageal glands are, as I said, it is located on the either side of the esophagus and then they open into esophagus only. Okay. Next we'll see the food and digestion. The food of Nereis, that is first only I said it is predaceous. This means they are carnivorous. Okay. They are the Nereis is a carnivorous animal. that is, it feeds on small crustaceans, mollusks, worms, sponges, larvae, and other animals, other marine organisms. Okay. During feeding, the whole buccal cavity and the pharynx are everted out. That is, it is moved out. Thus, it forms a introvert or the proboscis like proboscis. Okay. While the pharynx is protruded so that the jaws come in front of the head for grasping of the prey. Okay. Thus the digestion is extracellular, that is, the food is pushed from one part of the gut to the other by the contraction of the muscles, and the rhythmic contraction of the muscle is known as a peristalsis. The digestion and the absorption of the food occurs mainly in the stomach and intestine, that is in the midgut, and the undigested part of the food is digested through the anus, which is situated at the last segment, that is the posterior end of the body. Okay. With this, there is one more is there, that is the respiratory system. Respiratory system or the respiratory organ is lacking in nares. Okay. Thus, this respiration occurs by diffusion, that is through the body surface. The parapodia plays an important role in this respiratory system. Okay. Each parapodium has a capillary network and it is richly supplied by the blood or the coelomic fluid. Okay. And the body wall of the dorsal and the ventral side are supplied with the network of the blood capillaries. When the blood passes through this network, it obtains oxygen from the surrounding water and gives out carbon dioxide. Through this absorption or the giving out of the oxygen is all carried out by the diffusion method through the body surface only. Okay. And here they show the respiratory pigments are present in the form of the hemoglobin. Thus the hemoglobin is present, there is the in the blood, thus it increases the capacity of oxygen absorption. Okay. With this we have finished the today's lecture. That is, in today's lecture we have done the general introduction of the nares, then followed by parapodia and respiratory system, digestive system. Okay. In our next class we will see the more other characteristics of the nares. Okay. With this, thank you.